say two words.
We have started the spring 2021
Yay!
training class. Yay!
You did it.
We all
Everybody
did.
did it. Everybody did
Yeah,
it.
it's
Such
been
a great
awesome.
job. Wonderful, wonderful. So, did you ever think this day would come?
Last 2 weeks, no. I thought there's got to be some reason that we're having an Arctic blast and we're all at home. And mainly it was just to get calm and organized and be ready for February 22nd, which is today.
Well, do the students seem enthusiastic?
Totally. I've had so many emails and some phone calls and text messages. People have been ready for a while for this day.
Okay, good. Well, we're ready to go.
Yes, we are.
In spite of all of the obstacles that have happened.
Hey, go ahead.
Okay, I'm Elsa Roberts, and I'm the president of the Hill Country Chapter, and we are actually beginning to start our classes today.
Hooray.
These classes have been in the works for over a year, and we've been trying to plan and get this off of the ground, and today is the day. So I am so excited. And I would like to say that our class director and the class committee have done an outstanding job of working around all of the obstacles that have popped up all along the way so that we could get to this day. So I'm excited to see a whole batch of new trainees ready and eager to go to learn how to be volunteers for the Texas Master Naturalist Program. And we will be installing them into our chapter and putting them to work right away.
Oh my gosh, Elsa, look at all of this preparation. The books are all put out on the tables.
Yes.
People, they're in Tech Talk right now.
Yes.
And how many students do we have this year?
We have 29.
29.
And so they will be picking up their books here shortly. They are right now being trained by our IT director on how to use the virtual programs that we're going to be presenting, because a lot of their training will be done virtually. We only have actually 4 in-person joint meetings. This is the first one and our kickoff. So they have Texas Master Naturalists in those masks in those little bags over there.
Oh my gosh.
Their notebooks, which have been reprinted now, I think 3 times, as we've had to shift dates. We thought we were going to have this done in the fall of last year, but our state directors kept moving the goalpost, and we had to adjust as needed. So we're on our way now.
And we have all these tables set up, and each table has a mentor.
That's right.
And Gracie did the table decorations and
Yes.
everything, and we have food. We can't be master naturalists without a buffet table.
So we eat.
We like to eat. So what precautions for COVID are the people who are setting up the food taking?
All right, the food has been catered by one of our own master naturalists. They are food plates that have been completely sealed and prepared in advance, and they have been wrapped in a Texas Master Naturalist brand bandana.
It's just down to the last detail, isn't it?
Yes, everybody who's worked on getting this program going, the training program, has done an outstanding creative job.
Very creative.
Yeah, very, very excited. Glad we're started.
What's your name?
Kara.
Karen? Well, it's nice to have you.
Hey, it's nice to be here.
And what's your name?
Dot Maginot.
Are you excited to be in the
I'm
training
very
class?
excited.
Where do you come from?
Originally or now? I live in Carmel. We moved from Chicago 2 years ago.
And what made you decide to become a master naturalist?
Because I just love all this stuff. I love all the outdoors. I love the wildlife. And I just want to get to know what's here since we moved down here. Like native plants and snakes and birds.
Snakes?
There's so much wildlife out there. And, I just want to learn about all these animals, where they come from, what are they doing, and how come there's so many of them. And the jackrabbits come, and, we have scorpions.
Well, I draw the line at scorpions.
My name is Trudy, and I'm just tickled pink to be here. I'm learning so many new things and trying to stuff this old brain full of new information. It'll be fun to see how much I retain.
You know, you are just going to be a wonderful asset to our organization. I can tell already.
Oh, thank you.
Because you have the passion and the enthusiasm on your face. So I just want to welcome you to the program.
Okay, excuse over the mask, but I'm eating food.
No, that's fine. So what do you think about all this setup? And did you learn a lot in the tech call?
Oh, yes, the IT was great. Amazing people that can handle all this stuff and then teach it, pass it on to other people.
Yes, this is wonderful. I'm very impressed. The organization and the presentations have been wonderful, and I'm just looking forward to more.
Oh, wonderful. Well,
This is Catherine.
We are too. We're excited. It's super organized, and everybody's just been helpful and just so nice.
of course, Katie's right here, and she does everything.
Here I am, not looking too good today.
Katie's.
But I'm glad to be actually with the new class.
Me too. Me too.
Elsa is the woman that actually holds all of us to our potential and then more. She was the president, became president in January of 2020. What did she have to deal with first? Well, she had to get us all on our feet and look ahead because we were facing a pandemic and a shutdown of our volunteer activities and our training, face-to-face training program. So she took the helm in January of 2020. And guess what? She took it again in January of 2021. So she directs us and she supports us and she challenges us and she has moved us to a new place in this chapter, a place where we can have online classes where we get a webinar credit for our advanced training requirements. She has she created an IT director position on the board of directors, and we have Daryl Pitts because of that. Look at us. I mean, look at me. That's so anyway, I want to acknowledge the board of directors, and I want to acknowledge what they've done under the leadership of Elsa Roberts. So, without any further ado, I would like Carla, our membership director, to make a final presentation to our chapter president.
Elsa, this is you to come up. She's next anyway, right? Yeah. She doesn't know I was going to do this. So because of COVID, it's created some challenges for us to distribute the service award pins that our members get for putting in volunteer service hours. And I don't know if any of you noticed, but I was running around with a few of the pins to give to people that I haven't seen for a year and a half. And we have also set up some tables at Riverside Nature Center and Plant House and stuff, so the members can come to us to get their service award pins. But today, I'd like to acknowledge Elsa's 1,000 service award pin. In there that haven't quite made it in the video.
That's true. You know, when you get so many hours, it's just a little hard to keep up with. And you're going to hear me encourage you to keep good records of your hours. And I have to admit, I found that a little difficult because when you find yourself working 6 to 8 hours a day on Master Naturalist stuff, a lot of it, emails, phone calls, etc. It's just hard to write everything down at one time. So, thank you. Appreciate it. Well, it's my privilege to welcome you to the 2021 training class for the Hill Country chapter. And we are so glad that this day has come. There were times when we thought it might not happen at all, and it's been a real ordeal to get you to this point. So I would also like to thank everybody here that has stuck with us as Carla worked out a really creative mentor program to keep you interested, to keep you hopeful that you would have a class someday, and we appreciate your sticking with us until we get to this point. I'd like to, on behalf of the Board of Directors and all of our members, to tell you that we are so glad to welcome you to our chapter. I'd like to thank some people too. There are so many that we can thank because it has been almost a chapter-wide effort in order to get this class together. And I'm going to try to mostly focus on the ones that have just managed to work to get us for this day and organize this particular day. So we want to thank Cheryl Pender for getting us to this day. You can imagine the obstacles she's had to work around in order to get to us to this point. And the class committee has been fantastic. They have been the most creative class committee, and she's been the most creative class director that we've ever had. And you are a unique class. Your training class is organized in such a different way. No other training class has ever been trained the way you're being trained. It's a totally different path. So we've learned how to do things we never thought we could do. And that's learning how to do virtual, how to work digitally. Thank you to our IT director, who has now given us branded emails, also got us set up with Microsoft 365 program, and your board of directors is now learning how to work more like a business than just a volunteer group. And we're learning how to work smarter and not harder. It's pretty hard too. So, Cheryl, we thank you. Gracie, a wonderful food place that she creatively came up with. Carla, we thank you for the creating mentor program that you came up with. That has been something we've never had in the past. We've always had a mentor program, but nothing. This was like a mentor program on steroids. I want to thank Jake Williamson also. Jake he is the events manager here for this facility. He has just bent over backwards to accommodate us after we have changed our meeting arrangements here several times, and he always said, fine, we can do that. So we thank him for that. Kim Kesey and Lindsay Foster at Kerr Agri-Life Extension Department, that little building right over here across the parking lot, who not only printed the original notebooks, but turned right around and accommodated printing them again. And they printed literally reams and reams and reams of paper for us. So we're thankful for that. And Becky Exler at the Riverside Nature Center, who is the executive director over there, who accommodated us with a meeting room, and who on Sunday, when the Riverside Nature Center was actually closed, the notebooks had been put together there and left stored there. And because of the weather, they had closed down and weren't going to be open. But when she heard that we needed to get those notebooks out, she drove all the way into town to let us in to get our notebooks. So there's just so many people to thank, and so many people have worked together with us in order to make this happen. Is that better?
That's better.
Okay. So, that's it. This is our board of directors, who who have had a huge part in bringing us to this point today. Katie Capel, our Vice President right here, yay. She's responsible for all the programming for our chapter meetings. And she is working on a different way this year to get speakers who will be supplementing your training during our chapter meeting. So it's very important that you do zoom into our chapter meetings if you have electricity. That's right. But you also have an option to zoom in by your phone. So please take advantage of that. Nancy Scoggins, our treasurer, who is not here today, but she has readjusted our budget several times without even batting an eye. Every time we've said we need more money for this or that, we had to rent storage. We've never done that before. Just so many things that have been extra expense to do this, just fine. She's never had a problem with that. Lisa Flanagan is our past president, who has been my advisor to some extent, and she's been the one that has consoled me when I cry on her shoulder. I've had a lot of meetings like that. And of course, Carla with our mentor program, Vern Crawford, who is our state director, and he actually works with all the state. He's our state representative for our chapter. Each chapter has a state representative. He works directly with our state directors. And Vern has been a tremendous help to me as an advisor too, because he knew the ins and outs of all the restrictions and guidelines that we could, what we could and could not do. For Deb Youngblood, I don't know if Deb's here yet. Deb,
She's over getting her vaccination shot.
Oh, okay, she's not here, okay. She will be on Zoom. So Deb has been the most outstanding advanced training director that we've ever had. She has a nose to sniff out speakers and training that I've never seen. If you look at the AT calendar on our website, you're amazed at how many AT offerings there are on there. We've never had that before, and we appreciate that. Tom Burr, who is our projects manager, he couldn't get in today either. He's pretty well isolated out there in the countryside somewhere. But he has worked overtime to keep our projects going forward and keeping the coordinators of those projects updated and in line with whatever the current guidelines and restrictions were. And they've changed many times. Catherine Goblin, who you've probably already seen around here. There she is. She's doing her job right now. Catherine is our communications director. She takes care of all of our media. She takes care of our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and she has done a tremendous job. So we're out there for all the world to see. And be sure to tell your friends and your neighbors to check us out on Facebook or on YouTube. She's doing live feed, and so we appreciate that. Billy, how'd you say that? Ewan. It's you. I've always said Gwen. It's Ewan. Patty is Billy's wife, and she told us how we actually say their name. So Ewan. Billy is, he's on our board as the class director that replaced Frank, who needed to take care of some other critical things. And being a lawyer, he has come in very handy with waivers, etc., which he wrote up for us. And of course, Cheryl, our training director, has done a fantastic job. And Daryl, our new board member, IT director, we wouldn't be doing this today if it had not been for him, because nobody on the board knew how how to do virtual anything or do things digitally. And so we really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Remember to change this. This is our mission statement: to develop a corps of well-informed volunteers who provide education, outreach, and service dedicated to the beneficial management of natural resources and natural areas within their communities or the state of Texas. You are about to embark on what can be a life-changing experience, one that will convey you into the wonders of the unique natural world that distinguishes the Hill Country's ecology from the other 10 ecological regions in the state of Texas. And the Hill Country is really unique. Each of the ecological regions are different, but I think the Hill Country is so unique, and you're going to learn about so much about the Hill Country. This training class is the vehicle that we use to give you the information you'll need to carry on this mission statement. So you will be providing that education, that outreach, and that service that's dedicated to the beneficial management of our natural resources and the natural areas in all of your various communities. And you come from all different areas of this area. So in your communities, you will carry out these volunteer efforts. This initial training only gives you a starting place for your volunteer adventures. The in-depth training actually will continue as long as you're an active member of this chapter. This is the starting place. The real training is when you get out there and start doing it. Okay, our chapter was established in 2002. And we include 10 counties. We are one of the largest chapters as far as area goes. It's a very large area that we cover, and so our members are scattered out all over these 10 counties. We are one of 48 chapters within the state of Texas. And there are 2 new chapters that are right now in the process of being organized. They had started last spring to organize these 2 new chapters, and they COVID shut them down. One of them is still not back on track to be organized. The new chapter in the New Valley area is working right now to get their chapter up and running. So it's been hard on everybody to try to keep moving forward. Here's our chapter logo, the Cyrano Garner dragonfly. This word Cyrano, ring a bell? Cyrano de Bergerac. Yes! Cyrano de Bergerac.